So we're Peace, Love, Sparkle, and we're here with Haley Ramm. You may have seen her in Yours, Mine, and Ours, iCarly, or Without a Trace, but more recently she's done The Wheeler Boys with Lorenzo Henry, Rubber, Skateland with Ashley Greene, The Odds, and Bond of Silence on Lifetime. So what about Wheeler Boys? Who do you play and what is the movie about?
I play Clea Whitney, and she is Ted's best friend. Lorenzo Henry plays Ted. And they've been best friends for a really long time. They're going into their freshman year, and they're ready to start at a new school and be with all new people. But Lorenzo, who plays Ted, he starts to get involved with his brothers and his brother's group of friends, and he thinks that they're really cool at first, but then he realizes that they have a very dark side to them. And they have these horrible competitions going, and it's almost like they do a lot of hazing in their group, and he realizes that that's not what he wants to be a part of, and him and his brother, they really start to go through a lot of trouble with their relationship, and it's a very sad story because it really focuses on the reality of high school and how highly sexualized the world of high school can really be.
Wow, that sounds really interesting.
It is. It's a very intense movie, but it's very good, and it has a nice story.
Good. Does it have a happy ending?
Well, this is actually a movie where I don't really want to ruin it, but it doesn't really have a very happy ending, and it's actually one of the only scripts I've ever read that doesn't have a happy ending, that their problems aren't fixed at the end.
Wow, well, we'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
So then what about Skateland, which also has Ashley Greene from Twilight? Who do you play?
I play Mary Wheeler, and she is the sister in the family. And my brother's played by Shiloh Fernandez. And it takes place in 1983, which the wardrobe was like insane, and the hair and makeup was crazy. My hair was like this big in curls. I think it took like an hour every day. But it takes place in 83, and it's about this guy named Richie Wheeler. And he's in between high school and college, and he really doesn't know what he wants to do with his life or where he wants to go. And he relies on his friends to kind of help him, and he falls into this place where he just doesn't know what he's doing. He just starts to not really care about his life. And our family is falling apart, and our mom walks out on us, and I kind of take the motherly role in the family. And I'm constantly like getting on to him about going to college, and I just want what's best for him.
Wow. A lot of intense movies, Miss Ramm.
It is. I know, they are very intense, but they're fun. I mean, the characters have a lot of depth to them, which is really nice.
That's good. Well then, keeping it on a level of intensity, Bond of Silence just came out on Lifetime, so what's going on with that?
Let's get into this one. This is probably the most intense one. It's based on a true story, and it's about this lady named Katie Hutchinson, who, that's her name now, but it was Katie McIntosh, and her husband, Bob McIntosh, went over to this teen's family and went over to check on them because they were having a giant New Year's Eve party and it was getting completely out of control. And he went over to check on them, and he ends up being murdered. And it's about these teens that are all in this group, and the police are like trying to figure out what happened and try to get to the bottom of it, but these teens form this bond of silence. And it has a very happy ending, even though it's such a sad story, because another bond that comes from it is a bond between Katie and Ryan Aldridge. And they actually went to schools all over the country and talked about the violence of like drug and alcohol abuse, and just to stay away from it all and what can really happen. So it's a very happy ending to a very sad story.
Good, finally some happy endings.
I know, happy endings, yes. But she's an amazing woman, and she came to set a few times, and she's just such a nice person to talk to, and she has an unbelievable story, and she's such a strong person.
Wow, that's really cool. Well then, on that positive note, tell us a little bit about your Starlight Ambassador and charity work.
Yes, I helped them, I guess it was a few months ago, at their Starlight party, which was very fun, and we all got together and we helped all the kids with like arts and crafts and like dance parties and stuff. It was a lot of fun to see these kids have a good time because they're just so enmeshed in their diseases that they have, and it's nice to kind of like get them away from that and just let them have a good time.
Good. Are there any charities that you particularly endorse?
Yes, I do a lot of work with Ronald McDonald Charities. I started hosting movie nights there, which was a lot of fun. And I kind of had to take a break from it because I got so busy with work, but I really want to go back and start helping them again.
That's awesome. Well, we're really proud of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So then let's make it a little fun. So
Okay.
we're going to ask you what your top 3 favorites are in each category, starting with on-the-road items.
On the road, like traveling?
Mm-hmm.
I love those. What are those? Why am I blanking on this? What's that game? Tic-tac-toe. I love those magnetic tic-tac-toe boards. Those are always good. I like Mad Libs, where you fill out all like the crazy words, and then you read your sentence at the end, which is really fun. And of course, an iPod.
Excellent.
Soundtrack my music.
What about on-set comforts?
I always bring a pillow to have my trailer in case I want to fall asleep. An iPod, once again. And probably a magazine, like a fashion magazine or a book of some sort.
Very cool. What are your top 3 favorite things to do on the weekend?
To do on the weekend, since I live in California, I love going to the beach, and especially because it's summer. I love going to the movies with my friends, and I like finding different places in California that have like really beautiful nature because it's such a cool place where you can go and you can find all these places that are kind of like vacation spots, but you live so close to them. So you can go on like a one-day vacation. I love doing that.
Okay, and who are your top 3 fashion icons? Because you seem to have a pretty cool style.
Thank you. My number 1 fashion icon is Edith Head, who's a costume designer for Paramount for a really long time. I'm actually reading her book right now, but I love her, and I think if I could have lunch with anyone dead or alive, it would definitely be her. I also like Rachel Bilson a lot. I love flipping through magazines and like finding photos of her just like out and about, and she has the cutest outfits on. And she actually has a column in InStyle now, which I think is really cool. And who else? I really like Evan Rachel Wood's style. I think it's kind of like funky, which I like. It's fun.
Very cool. And what are your top 3 songs of the summer?
Oh, my top 3 songs. This is really hard because I like so much different music. I like Florence and the Machine a lot, and I like Dog Days Are Over. I think she has like a really pretty voice. I've been listening to Pink Floyd's The Wall a lot lately too. And what else? I've been into Elton John this summer.
Very cool. Well, check out Haley in Bond of Silence on Lifetime, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks.